Let's follow this single patch, the cat's eye, through a vision transformer and see exactly how AI learns to see. We're going to track one patch through the entire network, from raw pixels to final classification. Unlike text, which comes pre-tokenized into words, images need to be broken down. Vision transformers split images into fixed-size patches, in this case 16 by 16 pixels. Our 224 by 224 image becomes 196 patches arranged in a 14 by 14 grid. We're following patch 87, right on the cat's eye. This single patch contains 16 times 16 times 3 color channels, giving us 768 pixel values. This is our starting point. First, we flatten this patch. Those 16 by 16 pixels across 3 color channels become a single vector of 768 numbers, essentially unrolling the patch into a line. Then we apply a learned linear projection, a matrix that transforms these raw pixel values into a rich embedding space. In VIT-based 16 specifically, we project into 768 dimensions, though other VIT variants use different embedding sizes. This is similar to token embeddings in language models, but here we're learning to represent visual patterns instead of words. The network learns what features matter for understanding images. Here's a key difference from text transformers. Text is inherently one-dimensional, words flow in sequence, but images are two-dimensional structures. Our patch sits at position 3-3 in the grid, that's row 3, column 3 when the image is laid out as a grid. But here's the key. Most vision transformer implementations flatten the patches into a one-dimensional sequence and use learned position embeddings, one for each sequence index. The 2D-ness comes from which grid position each index corresponds to, not necessarily from using 2D sinusoidal encodings. So we have 196 learnable position vectors, one for each patch position. We add the appropriate positional embedding to our patch, giving us our initial representation in the residual stream. The network now knows what's in this patch and where it is in the image. Vision transformers for classification tasks add something special, a class token, or CLS. This is a learned embedding that doesn't correspond to any image patch. It's prepended to the sequence. Here's what's important. The token is just another token in the attention mechanism. While our 196 patches represent the image content, the token learns to attend to useful patches through the same attention operations. And crucially, patches can also attend back to the token. It's bidirectional. Through this attention mechanism, the token aggregates information from across the image. At the end, we'll use it to make our classification decision. Time for self-attention, but with a crucial difference. Text transformers use causal masking for auto-regressive generation. Each token can only see tokens before it. Vision transformers use bidirectional attention. Every patch can attend to every other patch, including those that come after it in the sequence. Now let's see what actually happens. Each patch embedding gets multiplied by 3 learned weight matrices, WQ, WK, and WV, producing a query, key, and value vector. Our cat's eye patch computes its query vector. It then compares this query against the keys from all 197 tokens. Look at this heat map. This is a simplified illustration of what attention patterns can look like. In reality, different attention heads learn vastly different patterns, and they're much more complex than this visualization. But conceptually, our eye patch might attend strongly to other facial features, discovering spatial and semantic relationships in the image. Just like text transformers, vision transformers use residual connections, layer normalization, and multi-layer perceptrons. The typical block structure is, first, layer norm normalizes the representation. Then attention processes it. The attention output is added back to the original representation via a residual connection. This helps gradients flow during training and lets information bypass the attention layer. Then we apply another layer norm before the MLP. Layer norm is crucial. It stabilizes the residual stream and helps the model train effectively. The MLP expands the representation 4 times from 768 to 3072 dimensions, applies GELU activation for nonlinearity, then contracts back to 768. Each patch is processed independently here. While attention-let patches communicate, the MLP refines each patch's representation individually. Another residual connection, and we've completed one transformer block. Now we stack these blocks to build deeper understanding. Vision transformers typically use 12 layers, though some go much deeper. As our patch flows through each layer, its representation becomes more abstract. Early layers capture low-level features, edges, colors, textures, what you might call the basic building blocks of vision. Middle layers learn object parts and patterns. The representation starts encoding things like this is a circular shape with specific textures, rather than just raw pixel values. Later layers understand high-level semantics. This isn't just any circular pattern, it's specifically a cat's eye, part of a cat's face, with all the context that implies. By the final layer, each patch embedding captures both its local visual features and its role in the global image context. Remember the CLS token? Throughout all 12 layers, it's been gathering information from image patches through attention. By the final layer, it's built up a holistic representation of the entire image. It focuses strongly on the most discriminative parts, the face, eyes, ears. It learns to ignore irrelevant background patches. It's compressed the information from 196 patches into a single embedding that captures the essence of what's in this picture. Now we can use it for classification. We take the token's final representation and pass it through a classification head, a simple linear layer that outputs scores for each possible class. For ImageNet, that's 1,000 classes. The numbers shown here are illustrative, but the concept holds: higher scores for relevant classes, lower for irrelevant ones. Softmax converts these logits to probabilities by exponentiating and normalizing, giving us our final prediction. Quick note on how this differs from CNN. Convolutional networks build up understanding hierarchically. Early layers see tiny patches, later layers combine them into larger regions. The receptive field grows gradually. Vision transformers skip this gradual approach. From layer 1, patches can attend globally across the entire image. Since the original vision transformer, we've seen rapid evolution. SWIN transformers use window detention. Patches only attend within local windows, dramatically reducing compute from quadratic to linear. DAT made training practical with better techniques and distillation, so you don't need hundreds of millions of images. If you want to dive deeper into transformer architectures, check out the playlist. Thanks for watching.